Everyone, it is awesome to be back. It's awesome to have another chance to connect with you in our creator checkup. Yes, I said creator checkup. It's been creatives checkup for so many years, but as times have changed, it seems like the best term to give us is creator versus creative. And so we're making that change slowly but surely in all of our branding and everything that I've been sharing to creator. And again, it might seem small, but hey, we want to make sure that we're actually connecting with the people that want to find this. And so they're most likely searching under creator. So if you hear someone and they say, hey, I'm looking for some help in being a faith focused creative who wants to build a better creative life from the inside out, tell them, hey, I know about the creators checkup. All right. And that's how they'll find us. If you can hear me okay, it always helps for me to see some likes and some comments right off the bat. Now we're live right now. Oh, we forgot to go live on Instagram, even though Instagram's been having some issues. So we'll see if Instagram is working today. But we're trying to be everywhere you want to be. So we are going live on TikTok right here in front of me. We're going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X. Look, I think we covered everything today. Like, I'm pretty sure we covered all of the bases. So friends over here on TikTok, I'm kind of glancing over here. You guys, it's awesome to have you here. If you are watching, you cannot see the screen. I cannot do screen shares via TikTok. So this is just my phone. So those of you who are watching on TikTok, if you want to see everything that I'm sharing, you'll probably need to go over to the YouTube, which you can find in the the link in bio of the God and Gigs TikTok page. Okay. But those of you who are checking in right now, we already have Pamela in the building. It's super cool to be able to share your comments here right off the bat. So as you can see, as we use StreamYard, which you can find, by the way, all the things we use StreamYard, and it allows us to do all this cool stuff, have this nice little background. Let me grab that background, as a matter of fact. Whoa, that's a little small. I didn't realize I was going to be that small. I want to be bigger than that, but whatever, we'll figure it out. So anyway, what you can see is over here in the corner, there's a little, what do you call this? The QR code. You can see our QR code. And when you have that QR code, you'll be able, yeah, I'm trying to make sure you can see it now. So I can't find a way that you can see it. That's strange. Yeah, I might have messed up something by there because I do not want to be that small. All right. So I've been playing around with my settings and I might have messed myself up. Anyway, long story short, you can use that QR code and you can donate, you can share, you can give. You see here, I'm like tapping on stuff, trying to get things back the way they were. And I don't know what I did wrong. So I can't find my original settings. So this is funny. You're seeing me struggling right now with my settings. That's a little better. That's not the color I want. Let's go to color. You guys are watching me literally do this in real time. Try to get my color back to my brand colors the way they used to be before I mixed them up. Let's see if I remember. Oh, look at that. I remembered my brand color just like off the top of my head. I love this. Okay, so we have a lot to get to. It is the middle of summer. It is the season where many of us as creators are either going full speed ahead or things have slowed to a crawl. It's like one or the other. And so I want to help our community in any way possible to keep making forward progress. If you are new, again, my name is Alan. I'm the host and founder of God and Gigs. This is where we help you to build a better creator life from the inside out by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary creative problems. You can see some of the books that I've written behind me. Your Art, God's Heart, God and Gigs, which is for Christian musicians right now. We're working on a creator version, which isn't just for musicians. So we're going to try to cover all of the folks. Once again, if you can comment, I see you over here on TikTok. I see you guys. I may not be able to catch the Instagram comment. I'm going to try to glance over here. So I see Zach and Mental Health Marty has joined us a couple of times. So those of you joining us on the other platforms, if I don't acknowledge you, forgive me, but I'm going to direct most of my attention to those of you who are watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and all the other ones where you can see my screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Let me tell you what is coming up today. Let's get that screen a little bigger so you guys can see it. All right. Oh, gosh. Again, our aspect is a little bit different today. I don't know why things are smaller. It is strange. It's not supposed to be that small. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out what happened. And I'll just try to read it because it's super small and that was not the way it was supposed to pop up. I don't know what's going on with our layouts. Anyway, today we're going to talk about first our news and notes. This is the way we do every creator checkup. Basically, we go straight through all the things that we're going to do so that you have an idea how we're going to spend the hour. That if you have to jump in, jump out, if you have to watch on replay, you know exactly what you're looking for. So we're going to start with our YouVersion plan update, which is super exciting. Then we're going to talk about what's new on the podcast. Then I'm going to go over a workshop that we just shared, amazing workshop we did in June. Haven't scheduled our July workshop yet, working on that one, but our June workshop is in our Creator Resource Center, where we save all of our workshops, where you can get in for just $10 a month and watch literally everything we've ever shared on our exclusive workshops. And we have a TMI session. These are super fun. We do our TMI sessions at least twice a month now. And this is like open, no registration. Click on a Zoom, show up, share the too many ideas that you have in your head, because that's literally why we did a TMI. Not too much information, too many ideas. Then we get into our vital signs. The one reason, which is what we call this particular creator checkup, the one reason why you lack creator confidence, this is a big one. And I want to be honest, all of us struggle with this. Okay. So if you lack confidence, you're not alone. Okay. Then we'll get into our automated social media marketing, a tool that I love so much. I love this tool and I'll be sharing it with you guys. And then finally, we're going to talk about AI, if we have some time to talk about AI, how to stay creative when AI is busting down the doors of everything and making us all feel like we're going to be replaced. And then finally, we'll get into the prescriptions. Okay. I'm going to check and make sure these slides are not all super small. Okay. Everything else looks good. All right. I was a little nervous about the slides because that was not the way I was supposed to look, but we're okay. All right. So we are in the middle of the Summer of Freedom. That's basically what we're terming this entire season for God and Gigs 360, our membership, our app. By the way, if you want to jump into that and find out what we're sharing, I did simplify that. Now all you have to do is go to godandgigs.com/app to be able to access our Creator Resource Center, which again has all of our recorded templates, everything for a $10 a month subscription. We wanted to make it super affordable. That has probably not changed in at least 3 years. And we're not doing anything else in terms of tariffs or whatever. We're not raising that. I've decided, you know what? Some things need to stay affordable, and we're going to keep this affordable so that no creator, especially our faith-focused creators, our Christian creators, will ever feel like they don't have access to the materials they need to succeed. That's my goal. My goal is that you never reach a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I would do so much only if. We're killing that excuse by allowing you to have a $10 subscription to all of our workshops and to get access to the ones that come up every month. So that is what we do in our workshops. And we are also doing an accelerator this year. We just started it. We have 5 amazing creators in our accelerator. They are like just lighting it up inside the app. I don't know if you guys can see them. You can't see them comment because it's a special place inside our app. But when I tell you, like, the app is on fire. So if you get 1 million notifications, it's because our accelerator creators are going at it and they are achieving some goals in the next 8 weeks. So the Summer of Freedom has been going super well. And one of the big parts of the Summer of Freedom is our new devotional on YouVersion. I am super excited about this. For those of you who are watching on the other platforms who can't see the screen, please, please, please go to your YouVersion app. Now, if you don't know what YouVersion is, it is the most downloaded Bible app in the world. Sometime this year, it will reach, get this, 1 billion. That's with a B. Billion downloads or, access, I guess, users, right? I guess it would be users, right? So it's 1 billion downloads, and I'm assuming that every phone is a different user. So 1 billion users of this app across the world. The most used Bible app. So it's the way that the word of God is getting out to so many people. And now this is our 3rd devotional that we shared. It went live on Monday. Now, here's the cool part. If you would like to join my personal reading group, that means my personal account on YouVersion, and you want to read along with me and some other people. Now I'm going to give you this link because I forgot to type it. I always forget to type these things. I will tell you what it is. It's godandgigs.com/authority plan. And of course, I can't spell when I'm trying to type at the same time as I do a live stream, which always happens. Okay. So godandgigs.com/authority plan. Okay. This is a link that will give you the access through my email to my personal YouVersion account. And once you're in my personal YouVersion account and you can become my friend, then I can invite you to my personal reading plan. So all 5 days from Monday through Friday, starting next week, I'm going to be sharing not just the actual devotional where you can read along, but also you can use this little section that says talk it over at the bottom, and you can share your takeaways and your thoughts with the rest of the group. It's honestly the best way for you to read the Bible. I'm very, very serious. It's like a mini Bible study, but you get to do it with all of the other friends and creators inside the group. And I get to send you some extra stuff that I've been thinking about and some other things I didn't get to include in the devotional through the email. And that's why I like to have your email. And that's why I'm asking you to sign up through your email. So not only do you sign up via YouVersion, but you also get the access for my other stuff that I can share throughout the week. So this is super cool. You can join my personal group. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, TikTok, and just write this down, godandgigs.com/authority plan. That's all one word, authority plan. All right. Somebody check that out. Make sure it still works, because I'm also nervous. I don't want to send links and then find out that they weren't working. All right. So I would love to have you guys be a part of that. And again, this is let me tell you what Creators Authority is. I'm talking about how to join. I forgot to tell you what it is. This is 5 steps to a fearless creative life. It's why and how God asked us, not just asked us, but tells us, because he has authority to create, that we have authority to create. And as you can probably tell from this particular live stream, a lot of us are lacking confidence in the authority that we should be taking. And so this plan is designed to give you the confidence that you should have to move forward with your creative goals with boldness and with the understanding that God has given you authority to set things in motion, to create, to make things happen, just like he did in Genesis and does throughout the rest of all time. Okay. So that's what I would love for you guys to join in. Great to see some more friends jumping in. Hey, Mental Health Marty jumped in from from TikTok to YouTube. This is awesome. Good to see you there, my friend. This is awesome to have people who are checking us out on TikTok. I literally almost did not go live on TikTok because I was like, I don't know if I've been live. I've been doing a lot of stuff and I'm just kind of like not really sharing. And now I see why it's important to always cast your bread upon the water 6 or 7 or 8 times, because you never know which one will return. Thank you for joining us. And of course, our brand ambassador, our amazing 360 guide. She is the one that helps you when you join the app. She is the one that greets you and shows you all the hallways of our amazing app. Simony is amazing. Good to see you, my dear sister. All right, we got a lot to get to, so I got to keep it moving. Our June Creator Workshop. Now, Simony can tell you about this. This particular workshop, like when I tell you Dre Marshall, our guest, my friend, who has been my friend in creator life, like 20 years at least, if not more. When I tell you this guy just brought the fire. I don't know where my emojis went. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it changed my emojis. I had fire emojis up here. I'm really annoyed right now. My app, my presentation app let me down. But I had the fire emojis because this was fire. And so if you want to get access to our June Creator Expert Workshop, where Dre Marshall told us how to stay authentic while selling our craft, while trying to make a living doing what we love, and avoiding burnout, how to avoid burnout as a creator. This is a must listen. Okay. Yes, I agree, Simony. Exactly. It was a mind-blowing, like, I was like, dude, just stop dropping all these bombs on us. Simony, by the way, I got to get him to sign your book. I almost forgot. I got to make sure you get him your address so he can sign your book, because you won that book and I want to make sure you get it. And I also need to get Precious her gift card, who won her gift card and a signed book. So we're going to make sure to get those things to you. But again, if you want access to this particular thing because you missed it, you didn't see the workshop, you can still get it. Once again, godandgigs.com/app. Okay, we shortened it, make it a lot easier. You can also go to godandgigs.com/membership. Same thing. But honestly, it's all in the app. So if you go to godandgigs.com/app, and you'll see your options to join. And again, you want to get into the Creator Resource Center if you decide to join our Gold program that also gives you access. So whatever you need to do, this is a great workshop for you to get access to and to watch. All right. Also, this is super cool. We have a new podcast episode, which y'all, if you have not heard of this gentleman, let me get myself out of the way. You can see the whole thing. If you've never heard of Jackie Bledsoe, y'all, Jackie Bledsoe is a name that literally has saved, not his name, but his work has saved hundreds of thousands of marriages. And I'm not saying that with hyperbole. They have served over 100,000 marriages through his work with happily married couples, which was put all over Family Life Today, focus on the family, the 700 Club, you name the Christian resource. Jackie Bledsoe and his wife, Stefana, have been a part of it. For him to be on our show, for him to be on our podcast, and to share the wisdom he shared, not just about marriage, but about how he's pivoting his whole career, how he is now writing a new chapter and how he's doing that and what he did to do so. Y'all, please go check out this episode. Now, the easiest way to go is go straight to it, godandgeeks.com/podcast, and you'll be able to register or sign up or subscribe, follow, whatever it is on any app that you like, because all the links are there. Specifically, this one is 343. godandgeeks.com/343 is the easiest way to get there. Okay. But please, y'all, please share this one. If you have not heard of Jackie Bledsoe, when you hear his incredible honesty about getting his thing off the ground, how his first business failed, he says it took them longer to set up the website than the business lasted. Like when you hear guys like him who are lovers of God, lovers of their family, and understand that it takes a long time to build a platform, and he just goes step by step how he built a platform to share what he is all about. Helping people get married, helping people stay married, and now helping people write about what they care about, sending their message out to the world, including on the YouVersion app. So this is what I am so excited about. I would love for you guys to share this one. And somebody says subscribe on YouTube. Yes, I would agree. The video was not my favorite. Actually, I should tell you this. I literally, hold up, I'm going to go over here. Let me go to the side. I literally just updated that video last night. I was like, I am not happy with the video. The video felt a little bit like, I made some video mistakes. I wrote about this on my newsletter, and there were some like huge mistakes. And I was like, oh my God, like this, I'm embarrassed. I talk about not being a perfectionist, and now I'm like embarrassed with my mistakes. I wanted to hide the video. So what I did last night is I literally redid and edited the video again to lessen on the mistakes, right? Couldn't help it. Sorry. But it does give you a lot more of Jackie speaking directly. So I just kind of like took myself out of it. And oh my gosh, I see that. And she reads, who is our friend over so many different ways. She is in God and Gigs 360, a fellow church member. Solange, good to see you over there on TikTok. This is cool. All right. Anyway, so I really, 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 really want y'all to go listen and hear this and see it. And once again, godandgigs.com/343. We'll just put that in the comments instead of making a banner. So let's put that in the comments real quick. And that way you guys can at least get to it. There we go. So that's the quickest way to get to the Jackie Bledsoe episode. All right. As you can see, I got so many notes, and I always feel like I take way too long with the announcement. So forgive me if you're bored. I'm going to try to keep moving. Tomorrow, Too Many Ideas, our TMI workshop. If you're interested in this means you do not need to register. All I need to know is that if you want the information, I literally have kept this probably to my demise, not trying to get emails. I'm just saying, hey, do you want the Zoom link? Let me know. The only thing is I can't share the Zoom link publicly, because obviously that would make a lot of people coming in to spam us and create a lot of havoc, and I can't have that. So I'm only doing personal invites to this, but there is no registration required. Simply tell me, hey, I want the Zoom link. Here's how to send it to me. I will send you the Zoom link, and you can join our TMI tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern. Yes, super early for our West Coast folks, but we figured, you know what? Let's get it up early. Let's go in there. Let's discuss our too many ideas, get them out of our heads, and then move on with our Saturdays so we don't spend all day when you can enjoy your Saturday and your weekend. All right. All right. I think we're almost to the end. Let's get out of this a little bit. Let me make sure. Yep. All right. So we finished our news and notes. Now we're going to move on to our vital signs. And those of you who are watching on our other platforms, I have a nice little bumper, trying to be a little more fancy. So you won't get a chance to hear the bumper, but it's kind of, I like to up our production a little bit. So let's move on to our vital signs. Well, my friends, if you have felt that you have lacked confidence in your creative gift, in your creative calling, if you have felt like you don't know which way to turn, and all of the things that have been birthed in your life, in your heart, you're like, God has called me to this, and I feel like I should be doing this. And then every single time that feeling comes up, there's another voice that says, don't do that. What happens if they're not going to like it? No one's going to share it. No one's going to support you. If that's you, if you have ever been one of those people, and I should honestly see every single person in this chat respond, just put me in the comments if you have ever felt a lack of confidence in your creative gift. Okay. I really, really, really want you to kind of let's all be together on this. Let's not leave anybody hanging. And if you have had perfect confidence, would you please tell us how? Because you should be running this and not me. Because I am so serious when it comes to the danger and the impact that lack of confidence has had on our creative community, on God-fearing, God-loving, insanely talented people who have been in our community for years. Pamela says me. I normally do this where I try to not do the back and forth, but y'all, this is a conversation. So if I repurpose this later, it's going to have all of the comments in it. Sorry. So Pamela says me. Semini raises her hand. This is what I'm talking about. Like the fact that so many of us know without a shadow of a doubt that God has called us to certain things. We are good at them, and yet we lack the confidence to actually step forward. Okay. So I'm not going to quote a bunch of scriptures, but I am going to go back to the word, because the word is the safest thing. My opinion is not what matters. The word is what matters. And anybody that's watching who is not used to God and gigs, we are unapologetically Christian. But at the same time, the things that we're talking about apply to pretty much anybody. So no matter what your faith background is or non-faith background, this is going to apply to you, okay? Because there is not a sector of creative work that does not end up being impacted by the lack of confidence. If you are a creator and you lack confidence, it's affecting what you're doing. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So since that is the case, we got Wendy also checking in. She says me, so good. I'm not alone in this, okay? So if we lack confidence, and now we know that it's impacting our creativity, let's talk about the number one reason why we are lacking confidence. So we know that we are, okay? We know that it's impacting our work. The question then is, why are we lacking it? Because it's one thing to say we have it. It's one thing to say you've got a particular symptom. And there's another thing to say, here's the diagnosis. Here's what's causing that. Okay. So I'm going to, again, go into a little bit of just the background of what we're talking about. Good to see you. I think Tuesday, Lewis Harris just joined us over here on TikTok. Love this. Love seeing some of our friends over here on TikTok. So the first thing I would say, honestly, is I'm just going to borrow from when Paul says to Timothy that God has not given us a spirit of fear. And again, I'm not even looking at chapter and verse right now. I'm simply going by my head. So if someone has chapter and verse on this, please pull it up for me. But when God says, when Paul says to Timothy, God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and a sound mind. In our My Morning Devotional podcast over at where I help produce that podcast, one of the things this whole week was on confidence. And so I got to listen to our guests, our host, I should say, on that podcast, share the entire week on confidence. And she just hammered this home on Thursday's devotional. If you are feeling fear, it's not from God. Why? Because it's very clear in the scripture, God has not given us the spirit of fear. So any fear you have, first thing you can say where it's not from is not from God. But what do you have? It's love, power, and a sound mind. So those things are clear in scripture, and those things are clear to all Christian creators that, yeah, if I'm feeling fear, it's coming from another source. Another thing is bringing fear into your life when it comes to why you're not stepping forward with your writing, with your drawing, with your YouTube channel, with your podcast, with your music, with your acting career, with your dance career, whatever that is. It's clearly not God that is inserting fear into the equation. Are we clear on that one? Okay. So thank you, Simony. Simony pulled it up. 2 Timothy 1:7. See, this is why I have my friends. This is what I'm talking about. Community makes everything better, y'all. This is many hands make the work light. I love this. All right. So since I've established that, I'm going to go now in a direction which I talk about in the Creator's authority. And that is one of the days where this hit home with my editor. When I talked about this, she said, this is big. The other people that helped me in the behind the scenes, the other VAs, the other graphic designers, they've all pointed out this point. And so as you read this plan, we're going to go into this, but I want to share this with you guys before you even read the plan. And that is the number one reason, and this is going to sound radical, forgive me. The number one reason why Christian creators lack confidence is because you're asking for it. Let me start again. Say it again. The number one reason that you lack confidence is because you're asking for confidence. I will try that one more time to make sure it makes sense, because even as I say it, it sounds like, wait, what are you trying to say? If you are asking God for confidence, He's not going to give you that confidence. This is a radical statement. And yet I know from biblical speaking and from just experience, this is 100% true. We do not gain confidence from either praying for it. We don't gain confidence from thinking about it. We don't gain confidence from any other source. Okay. Confidence, even the word con means with, and phi, right? Fide, meaning truth, or with the strength, right? These are the core words. I don't have the Latin right in front of me, but con and then fidens obviously means the trust and the strength. This is where it comes from, something that cannot be accessed simply by being gifted to you. Confidence only comes from trust and action. Trust and action. Trust being the fide, right? Trust in God, with God, confidence with something, and then the action of doing the thing, which you have not asked for, have confidence in. So here's the thing that I think a lot of creators don't realize in terms of Christian creators, and then in terms of biblically speaking. The Bible is very clear when it comes to things we should ask for. Asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open, right? But he never says ask for confidence. Well, let's put this in another word, courage. He never says ask for courage. The Bible says take courage. The Bible says anywhere we're having fear, it says do not fear, take heart. So notice the word I'm using over and over again. Take heart, take confidence. In other words, if you're supposed to take something, it's already yours. Let me say that again. If you are supposed to take heart, you cannot take it unless it's yours, because you're not taking it from somebody. He's saying in these scriptures, you already have it, use it. And so the number one reason why Christian creators lack confidence is because they don't realize you already have it. And you think that there's an additional step towards your goal, and that you need this additional confidence to move into that goal. When God is very clear, it's like you're not moving any further because I've already given you what you need in terms of your confidence. I'm already with you. And if you trust me, you take the step and you do not continue worrying about whether you have enough. And this is the spiritual principle, which is also an artistic principle, which I'm sure some of you are catching up on. The fact that you can only have confidence when you get the reps. When you move forward and you do the thing over and over and over again, you begin to have more confidence because you are exercising the confidence that you already possess. And I know some of you are saying right now, and if anybody's hearing this and you're like, but this is easy to say, hard to do. Yes, exactly. Using the confidence, using the trust that you have is hard, which is why it does so much good for you to move out and continue to work in the strength. That's another biblical point. Go in the strength that you have. The power and the ability of you to step forward in the confidence that you have is the thing that will then build your confidence and then be able to give you more of that impetus to keep moving with the next project, with the next thought, with the next chapter, with the next thing. But you don't get it by asking, and you don't get it by praying. Christians who are praying for confidence are going to remain stuck. And again, it sounds simple, and I almost feel silly saying it, except the fact that if I don't say it, someone's going to continue to stay stuck thinking that more confidence is on the way, and it's not. This is a very harsh truth, but you will not gain more confidence simply by thinking more, planning more, doing more. And this is a big one, y'all. Like, I am the planner. I am the one that wants to make everything perfect before I start. And as I continue trying to plan myself into confidence because I've done all the things, and then I still have trouble pressing the publish button, it's because I realized that my confidence cannot come simply from my preparation. It's a part of it, but the preparation without my actual action immediately robs the confidence, because if I don't move forward on the planning, I've literally just taken one step forward and two steps back. The part that creates the confidence is the push, the actual pressing the button. That creates the confidence. The planning doesn't create the confidence. The confidence is like a well or a wave that builds, and it's building up. And when it finally reaches its apex is when you press the button. And that's when it's the most powerful. And that's when the confidence is actually built up. But it's not built up in the planning. The planning does not create the confidence. The confidence comes from the actual pressing the button and doing the thing and then seeing what happens. And then it is now built up in you and you have more confidence. This is proven in church. This is proven in ministry. This is proven in creativity. This is proven over and over again. Those that continue doing over and over again, getting the reps, build more confidence. And so that's a problem that I know. Oh gosh, I love all this stuff. Let me grab these guys. I was talking for a long time. Pamela said, so true. Thank you for hanging out with Manuel is here with us. He said, amen. Thank you so much for that. Wendy, y'all go check out Wendy, please. Real quick, shout out to everyone that has a platform. Do not shy away from sharing your platforms on this podcast or on this live stream or on my podcast. Please. Everyone, if you see a name and it's a friend of God and Gigs, make sure you subscribe. So Wendy, later on, go ahead and share your links. I want to make sure people are following your amazing content. You're doing the best stuff on YouTube. Pamela, I want to read this one. Exercise and walking in what we already possess. When we realize what we have, we can manifest what's already ours. Amen. And then Manuel is dropping this bomb. Obscurity is not punishment, it is preparation. Woof, man, that's a whole nother thing. I did not go there. You notice I stopped. I did not go into the why we stay hidden when God is hiding us in that season of preparation. Yo, I'm not ready for that, okay? Wendy, my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have more friends like yours, and you have so many resources, literally on this topic, when it comes to reading the Bible, and also all the other amazing things that you share. All right. So I hope that helped you. The number one reason that you lack confidence is because you don't get to ask for it. You have to exercise it. And if you want to know more about this, again, this is taken from the Creator's Authority. I would love for you guys to join my plan. So if you want to join my personal plan, we start on Monday, godandgeeks.com/authority plan. Some of you are already on it. I think some of you are already in my personal plan. I'm trying to remember. I think Pamela, I think you're already there. I'm trying to remember who else. So you guys want to join my personal reading plan. We start on Monday. Now, of course, you can do your own. If you want to do your own, probably the easiest way, just go to godandgeeks.com/YouVersion, because that gets you to the Creator's purpose, the Creator's craft, and now the Creator's authority. As you can see, there's a little theme going on here. Y'all pray for me. I do believe these are the set. This is setting up to be the next book. So I am very, very clear on you guys. Like, I want you to see me in process. I'm working this out. So yes, I am working out these. I'm sharing these devotionals as in preparation for the next book. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but I do know that I am building confidence by releasing these devotionals. I am saying, hey, I don't know how it's going to look, what it's going to look like, but I'm going to continue staying on this road until I get more confidence by doing it in releasing our next book. So I love this so much. All right, guys, we're going to move on. I'm going to play another bumper to get us into our next thing, change gears a little bit. And we're going to move into our lab work, which is always fun because now the nerdy, geeky, marketing, practical side of the creator lifestyle get to pop up. Okay, let me just get rid of this real quick. All right, and let's jump into our lab work. Okay, y'all, who here loves social media? I'm waiting to see. I bet I'm not going to get a lot of amens on this one. I mean, you may love social media for the social part, but I'm guessing many of us do not like social media for the literal, what Jordan Rayner calls infinity pool that it turns into, what other people call doom scrolling. It's just become this, between AI and just the ads and everything. Like, honestly, I am doing, actually on my phone right now, I had to turn my TikTok back on because I have my old phone now. My new phone, there's a whole story behind my new phone, which I'll tell later. Some of you got it on the newsletter. You heard about my new phone and how I managed to destroy it. But my old phone has limits on my usage of each app. So Instagram has an hour, Facebook has an hour. Y'all, I've been hitting that limit like without even realizing it. And immediately I'm like, okay, I'm going to honor my limits. I'm going to honor my limits. If this app has been an hour, I'm not turning it back on, even though a lot of my job comes into helping people on social media and connecting with them. So I am absolutely not a fan of social media, but I do know the power of sharing our news, our marketing, our offers, connecting with people, creating community in these spaces is still a thing. So how do you avoid spending hours and hours and hours and hours on social media, sharing your stuff without becoming, again, just a slave to it, becoming so stuck in it? So I want to share the tool that I recently re-energized or reintroduced. I've been using this for years, but I kind of fell off and I jumped back in, and now I am so glad that I did. Now, I'm going to probably do some screen share here because, so this will be kind of like a mini workshop. So give me a second. Let me pull this up because I honestly didn't plan this, but it's always easier just to show you something like this versus, trying to tell you about it. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Give me half a second here. Once again, oh wait, before I forget, there's my URL again, guys. If you're watching on anything else, and you see, I can point now because now this is right there. This URL goes to godandgeeks.com/give. I am very, very open with you guys. This is not a ministry, it's a company. And I am learning, once again, I need to set income goals and there needs to be money. And there's some things on Fridays. Y'all know Friday, right? Fridays, whenever you get paid, but you also got bills. And so if you want to support live streams like this, if this is helping you, if this is blessing you, giving you shall receive, pressed down, shaken, girl, shall men give into your bosom, men and women. And I know I am giving. And so I know God's going to honor that. So if you'd like to give over here, URL, scan it, go to godagates.com/give. No particular amounts. Any amount will help. But again, if you're not going to buy anything recently, haven't bought anything recently, but you just want to support us, that's the way to do it. All right. So I think I'm ready for my screen share now. Screen share. Let's go here. And so this is the tool. Y'all let me know if you can see this. Okay. Are y'all seeing this? It should say Meet Edgar. Again, those of you who are on TikTok, I think Instagram, you guys can see this, but it's going to be super small, which is why I suggest you guys hop over to LinkedIn or YouTube. Wendy says yes. Okay, cool. So this is a tool that I have gone back to, which is helping me to avoid spending all of my time on social. So Meet Edgar, this is how Meet Edgar works. Basically what Meet Edgar is, it's a repository, a place where you not only share to different links and different social media accounts, but the coolest part of this is that it also continues to share posts that you shared before. Now, if you're like me, you have tons and tons of posts you've done over the years. Like if you look at your Facebook or whatever, your Instagram, it shows you how many posts, like thousands and thousands and thousands of posts, right? A lot of those posts don't just disappear. Now, if you just said, hey, how are you doing this, 7-Eleven, Slurpee Day? How are you doing Slurpee Day? Hey, are you going to get a Slurpee today? That one is just a post that I'm just going to share today, right? But there's other posts that I want to share again. And what Facebook and YouTube, not necessarily YouTube, because YouTube is more like an evergreen thing, but Instagram and all these other places, they show it once, twice, maybe 3, 4 times, maybe to like 1% of your audience. And then it disappears, gone into the ether, never to be seen again. And it may be perfectly good content. It may be something on a web page that you want to keep sharing. It may be something on an offer that you want to keep sharing. It may be something on a resource that actually would be more beneficial now than when you first put it out. But that post is gone and you got to repost it or you got to rewrite it or whatever. Meet Edgar is saving me time because it does this automatically. It literally goes back, and I'm going to show you all this. How I went back and I found how many posts have I done over the years that I could go back and share again. So this is my library. Okay. So if I go to the library and I go to category, actually, let's go to, let's see. No, I think all of them are pretty much the same one. Let me go to I want to see how I can find all of my older stuff, because some of these are new posts. And I want to see how I can show you some of my older posts. Oh yeah, I'm just going to stay in the library. Okay, that'll work. All right, so here we see, let's find one that's the most, all right. Here's a good one. Summer of Success. So as you can see, this is a Summer of Success post. So it shows me 5 total variations. So when I go into this and I'll hit edit, number 1, I choose a category. I select which social media account I wanted to go to. And as you see, I have 4 here and I'm using the light version. This is a key here. I used to use the heavy version. Used to use the full version, which had all like 15 accounts. Y'all, I do have that many accounts, but I was like, this is ridiculous. So I went down to the light. So I just have 4 accounts that I really need to go to. God Engage Facebook, Google Business. This is a big one that you might not know about, but you might want to start posting to your Google Business profile. We'll talk about this in the app pretty soon. My Instagram and LinkedIn. Now, here's a big cool thing. You can then craft extra variations of the same post. So here I am, I'm posting about the summer. So throughout the summer, I don't want to just post one time about this particular episode. I want you guys to see it more than once. So here's variation 1, and here's a picture. It's not showing up, but the picture will go with it. Then second time, slightly different. Not necessarily really any different at all. Just a slight difference in terms of this one says whether you're facing few gigs, a quieter schedule, or just feeling the pull to unplug. This episode will help you continue the progress during the summer without burning out. Okay, and there it is. All right, so actually, this one's almost exactly the same. Normally, it doesn't let me do the same. Oh, because it's not Twitter. Oh, and I changed the picture. So I have this one. Well, Twitter makes you make sure you can't do similar of the exact same post. But for this one, I just changed the picture slightly. This variation, where is it? 3. There it is. Summer's supposed to be all fun and games, but not for those of us in the creator economy. You likely felt the tension. Summer arrives, everything slows down, and suddenly your rhythm and momentum seem to disappear. Let's find out how this season could actually refresh our creativity instead of draining it. Now, you might be asking right now, okay, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work to do all these different captions, right? But here's the blessing of it. If I come up with 5 or 4 different captions, and yes, this is where ChatGPT can be helpful. And they also have an AI thing right here. You can see they can actually do AI inside of MeetEdgar. Okay. So after you have that, then you can simply say, all right, go ahead and use these 5 or 6 different variations and keep on sharing them. So that's where I can go ahead here. Next step. And this is the coolest part. I can shorten the links if I want and create something smaller where it doesn't have that long thing. But obviously, I have gotten gigs. I already have a shortener through Pretty Links. And this is the coolest part. Let's say at the end of the summer, which it will come to, I don't want to show this anymore. It's not going to keep pulling it up. I put down the date. Stop revealing this around this date. Okay. 1:39 p.m., October 17th, people going back to school. So we're going to stop. All right. That's how I now have this particular thing is going to pop up in my queue. And as you can see, my schedule, it's going to show up randomly throughout the summer in one of these spots, 10:15 or 5:15, 10:15 or 5:15. As you can see, I've now created all these call to action. So you have 4 different categories. All of this, I hope this is helping. Is this helping anyone? Because I wanted you to see like how the sausage is made. Because if you're spending so much time making social media content and if it's evergreen, please do not spend so much time creating it and not sharing it again. That's probably the lesson of all of this. You can use MeetEdgar. If you want to go to MeetEdgar, you can find any of our tools, including this one at guidinggigs.com/toolkit. Okay. But this is one of the ones that like has saved me so much time. Because if you guys have looked at my social media recently, if you looked at Facebook, you're seeing that when an old episode pops up, I'm able to tag that creator. When something else pops up that I haven't shared in a while, it's like, oh, I remember this. And I can look on LinkedIn and I can be like, hey guys, remember this? This was amazing. So it makes you remember that all the content you're creating doesn't have to disappear every time Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever decides, oh, well, we shouldn't share this anymore because people aren't liking it or whatever. If you keep bringing it back up, people find it the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth time. And by keeping it automated, I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel and then putting new content back in when the old content I shared is still just as good. It's like fresh. It's basically like fresh to somebody. So I hope this is helpful. This is just one of those tools that I feel like probably I should have talked about a lot more. And yes, I am affiliate, by the way, so I don't want you to ever think that I am trying to snake oil you guys into supporting apps. I'm showing you this app because I think this app actually is underutilized in terms of my business, in terms of other businesses. We don't use apps that I know of. I can't think of any other ones right now that might do the recycling thing. But this is a huge benefit to saving time so you are not always going back to create new content. Cool. All right. I hope that's been helpful. We can go ahead and stop sharing screen. And I love that you guys are hanging with us the entire hour. Thank y'all for hanging with us. If you're hanging with me on LinkedIn, on YouTube. LinkedIn, by the way, you guys can share comments. I know that I've been doing this through, looks like most of us are watching on YouTube, but you can share on LinkedIn. So if you catch us on LinkedIn, even on the replay, you can share comments. And I would love to see what you guys have to share. All right. So I'm not going to do a bumper for this last one. I'm just going to jump right in to our Q&A. And so this one is a big one. And I want you, excuse me, as I sip my water. I I want you to tell me honestly, has this been an issue for you? Because we don't have to dig deep into this, but this came up in our app. It came up in the membership. I think it was also asked in our Facebook group. Um, when Roberto Blake came on, Roberto Blake, another episode that's just an absolute banger. I mean, having someone that's gotten over 600,000 subscribers and helped people get almost, I would say, I don't know how many, almost, I don't want to say a billion views. I don't think that's correct, but it was like some insane amount of views that he's helped people get. So we asked all of you on the consult, what would you like to ask him? And I think it was Pamela. I think it was you, Pamela, and you said, how can we remain creative in the age of AI? And so I wanted to address this. And I wonder if any of you that are watching now, even on replay, have any of you also had this struggle of AI feeling like either, do I use it? Do I not use it? Should I use it? Is it going to steal my job? So I would love to see your comments in this one. Just put a yes if you've ever worried about AI's effect on your creative life. If you've been like, okay, I feel like a hypocrite if I use ChatGPT to create a thumbnail. I feel like if I'm writing using ChatGPT or something else, have you ever felt kind of like that tension? Thank you. Good, Simony, I see you. Wendy, I see you. Yeah, I think this is a bigger issue than maybe we're letting on in the creative space. I'm definitely also feeling this kind of tension because number one, as I just mentioned, using Meet Edgar, there are benefits to AI that I cannot deny in terms of the nuts and bolts of the creator lifestyle. There are things that I am spending time doing that I know that if I go to AI, I will get it done faster, possibly better. I'll be very careful about that, but possibly better, especially when it comes on the nuts and bolts and how to do this and how to do that. Some people think that AI and ChatGPT, they're all going to like get rid of Google because Google is behind on the AI front. They have not made the imprint that, ChatGPT has. And so people think that like Google is actually going to get swallowed up in search. It's a whole nother conversation. But my comment to you is on, are we remaining creative? And this is what I said. Number one, I did do an episode on this. So you can go back in the archives of the podcast. I'll try to find it. But there are three things that AI cannot do. Okay. AI cannot, here's a big one. AI cannot initiate. You have to prompt, you have to give it all this stuff. There are people, honestly, this is kind of like the sad part of AI that no one really talks about. There are people in these little huge farms of computers who are teaching AI what a box is, what a book is, clicking on things. Humans have to direct all of this information. So AI cannot initiate the way that we can initiate. You come up with an idea, you can move on it. AI waits to be told, at least for now. And even if it did like some self-initiating thing, it's only because someone else started the process. So AI cannot initiate the way that we initiate. So if you have an idea, you have a thought process. One of the ways to stay creative in the age of AI is go back to what I just talked about confidence. Continue initiating goals, continue initiating ideas. Avoid the temptation to offload or to delegate initiation, because you having that spark from God, that spark of ideas, and then using AI to help you bring it to life, that's where you remain creative because the initial spark came from you. The second part that I think is very, very, very dangerous for us, and we have to toe this line very carefully, is the process and production. Now, does using AI actually affect the production and the process and then affect the final product? I would have to say your tools will always affect your production. What you use affects how your final product comes out. Is anybody with me here? If you use watercolors versus oil to do your painting, it fundamentally affects how the painting looks, what the painting does, your strokes. Everything is based on, well, I use this tool. This tool helps me create. But then not only did this tool help me create, this tool influenced the creation. So I think, again, staying creative in the age of AI means being aware of what point what's the word I'm looking for? What function the tool is doing, or the tool is applying inside your creative process. Is the tool you're using fundamentally changing what you're creating? Writers, this is big for us. AI has a certain way that has been programmed to write. And if we keep going back to AI for our writing prompts and for creating our writing way that it's structured, it's fundamentally changing the way that we write. There's no way around that. But that's the same thing that could be said for typing. It's the same thing that could be said for texting. All this is true. The tools are changing the way we create. The question is, are you aware of it? Okay. So you don't have to stop using a phone when you realize that your texting is starting to get into your head and you're starting to write way more punchy and less like descriptive. You just need to be aware that, oh, I need to put the phone down. I need to step out. I need to go read some long books. I need to reorient my thinking because this tool is beginning to affect what's coming out as much as I am now using the tool to get it out there. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. You said that what you use affects the outcome. Yes, which once again, I think we may go past an hour, you guys. If you guys are hanging out with me, I'm good. Normally we try to get out. Crystal is on TikTok. All right. I don't know if you guys are hanging with me. I can't tell how TikTok is working. But again, if you can't see my screen and some of the different comments, go join us on YouTube. This is honestly why I'm going live on TikTok, because I want you guys to know that where I'm at and where you can have a better experience. Okay. By the way, total ADD moment. I'm reading this book called Fans First about the Savannah Bananas. If you don't like baseball, watch the Savannah Bananas. They are a riot. And one of the reasons why I did a lot of changes, even inside this particular thing, is because this is a fans first concept. I changed the font. I changed everything around to try to make this a lot more fun and a lot more kind of like, I'm wearing my purple here. So maybe I'll start wearing my purple all the time. I don't know if it become like my uniform, but I want to make sure that you guys are always seen and I take care of you. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go live on everything, because it makes it easier for you to find us. So yeah, Pamela, you're right. So I think one of the biggest things, again, it cannot initiate. So maintain your initiation. 2, be aware that the tool is affecting your output. Okay. Especially thumbnails, graphic designers. Again, I say respectfully, I have used tools to kind of, get the graphic design thing a little faster because I couldn't hire somebody at the time. I am also quite aware that, to me, it will never equal what a live graphic designer can do. It's just so obvious. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think everyone's saying like, we're going to get fooled and AI will be able to fool us. And like, even now as I'm sharing, like, oh, am I AI? Did I actually share this? Like, it's going to be able to copy everything I said. And here's the last part. Again, it kind of goes along with what I'm saying, that AI does not have a soul. AI does not have a spirit. And if you are like me, a believer in God, and you just heard everything I said about how God wants you to be creative, God gave you the creative spirit, God put in you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. These things are not replicated. Now, I know it's hilarious hearing AI try to be saved. Like, if you don't know that AI is trying to be saved, like, be like me and use ChatGPT to help you write prompts and things, quick prompts for like our podcast descriptions. It's hilarious because this thing has no idea what it's saying, but it's putting out all these scriptures and stuff and saying like, let's follow God and let's seek God. And it's like, this thing is a computer. This is a very, 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 very smart parrot. That's all AI is to me, a very smart parrot that can put together sentences and has heard things for years and years and years. And you can swear that parrot is talking to you. That parrot does not know what it's saying. That parrot is just really, really good at putting together things in its head and being able to make it make sense to you. And that's the same thing for AI. It does not know what it's doing, but you have given it enough information that it's making tremendously good guesses all the time. But that's all it's doing. It's guessing right over and over and over again. So make sure you remember that AI does not have a soul, does not have a spirit. I'm one of those people that I do not talk nice to my prompts. I do not say please. I do not say thank you. Some of y'all are like, oh, I should, treat it like a person. I'm not going there. This is an ethical thing that I kind of draw the line on. I don't talk to an AI like a person It's not a person. It doesn't have a soul, doesn't have a spirit, does not deserve my niceties. It's a tool. And so I talk to it like a tool. And as in, hey, do this, do that, do this, do this, do this, do this. Because that's what it is. It's not a personality. Now, if I try to make it into a personality, just like a lot of people, essentially kind of weird are doing, then I'm gonna get what I put into it, which is a parrot with a personality, a parrot that's trying to have a personality, which, as we've seen in some really, really scary cases recently, can backfire a lot. So let's just be honest with each other, okay? With AI, we are still the creators. So, Pamela, thank you for jumping in. I do believe I borrowed that question from you. So thank you for asking it. And anybody else that has any comments with this is the kind of stuff, again, we're going to be talking about in the app. So I want to go ahead and do one more shout out to those of you who are in God and Gigs 360. We are having an amazing time in our accelerator in God and Gigs 360. It's basically our LinkedIn for Christian creators. That's what 360 is. So if you really want to have conversations like this without Facebook getting in your way, without TikTok getting in your way, without constant ads getting in your way, you just want to have these kind of conversations where you are totally free and the app literally is just your home away from home as a creator. We have threads for visual creators, for writers, for marketers, for entrepreneurs, for musicians and vocalists. It's just like, hey, here's your people, hang out and share and grow and find the people who know what you want to know and want to grow the same way that you want to grow. That's what's happening in the app, y'all. All right, so we're almost to the end. Let me just go ahead because we're going over a little bit today, but it's been too much fun. We've been hanging out. So prescriptions, the final thing. This is what I'm asking all of you to do. And I am being very honest with you because this is our goal, my goal for this particular devotional. YouVersion puts a special little badge when you reach 1,000 completions of a plan. That is literally like 4,000 hours on YouTube. It's 1,000 completions on YouVersion. So what I would love to do is to get 1,000 completions. Now, to get 1,000 completions, obviously I got to get 1,000 people who actually find the devotional. And to find 1,000 people to get the devotional, I got to share it, and I need to ask you guys to share it. Because if there are creators in your life who do not realize, and honestly, this is a very humble brag, but it's the truth. I've noticed, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've noticed that there are not that many reading plans on the YouVersion app that are written specifically for and about creators. Jordan Rayner, who I follow and is a huge mentor and inspiration in my life. Matt Tommy, I've seen some stuff from him. He recently just released some new devotionals for the artist. I honestly can't think of any other ones that are written with the artist in mind. That is why I said, you know what? God and Gigs is a place and a space and a voice for creators who want to build better lives from the inside out by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary problems. And so this is where I said, okay, I'm going to walk into this, God. This is my goal. I don't know how I'm going to reach it, but I'm going to go ahead and keep setting it out there. 1,000 people to finish the devotional. And that means I got to get more than 1,000 who actually sign up for it. So your prescription, if you want to have a fearless creative life, go check out the Creators Authority on YouVersion, the easiest way to find it. And I think this page is working. I actually need to check it on my phone, but I can't right now because we are live streaming. So the easiest way I would say is to simply go to godandgigs.com/YouVersion. You should be able to see it if you go to godandgigs.com/YouVersion or search God and Gigs on the YouVersion app. If you want to join my personal plan, you're watching this before July 14th, go to godandgigs.com/authority plan, and I would love to invite you to my personal reading group. Semini knows it was a blast last year time we did it with the Creator's Purpose. A lot of new friends that were able to chime in. It's just so much more fun and accountability, by the way, to actually finish the thing when you know everybody else is reading with you. And so if you want to join your own group, you can also just simply go to godandgigs.com/YouVersion. Oh, wait, TikTok is wondering if I'm still here. Yes, I am. Okay. So if you guys want to join in, please do it that way or start. I love this. Yes. Road to 1,000. Yes. I love it. So here's some updates. Creators Purpose is up to 650. That's where we're at there. We have 650 on Creators Purpose. Not sure how many on the Creators Craft. I'm over 1,000 total, which is great. But the individual plan has to hit 1,000 for there to be a badge and for there to be kind of like a little push from YouVersion. And again, the goal is to reach more creators so that they become more fearless, more confident, more understanding that God speaks to us through the word. And I just want to be another one of those voices that's encouraging you to build your best creative life from the inside out, to really embrace that creator lifestyle. Thank you for everyone that joined us over here on TikTok. I'm going to give you guys a shout out real quick. I would love to invite Crystal Shays. Crystal Shay was here. Tuesday Lewis, Tangi Angie. What's up, Tangi? Solange was here. Sarah St. John, it was great to see you. Thank you, Connor, for sharing this. Oh, yeah, a lot of friends over here on TikTok. This is awesome. So thank you all for joining me over there. Once again, I hope you kind of found it useful, even though you didn't see a lot of the links. And will continue to try to make sure I go live here. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, Instagram, and I totally forgot to check in on Instagram. Forgive me. Let me see. Were you guys still there? I hope I didn't close you guys out. Me. Oh, wow. Okay, Meet Edgar. I didn't see you, Cynthia. Juan. Yes, it is a paid subscription. Meet Edgar has a paid subscription. I have the lowest version of the light version. I think it's called Meet Eddie. The one that I showed you is paid, and it's wait, I need to get out of here. Let me go to the toolkit. 1 second. I believe I use the light version, which I think is 29. I think it's 29 a month. Okay, sorry I didn't see that, man. I see you now. So hopefully I got you your answer. I'll text you and I'll send you a link directly to it. Good to see you over on Instagram. We saw Emmanuel the Minstrel was here. Defiant Joy was here. Wit with Love was here. Tenacious Nell was here. Angelic Miles, good to see you, man. This is awesome. So we have friends all over the internet that checked in. This is super cool. Well, my friends, I am going to head on out. This has been a super, super great creators. I have to get used to that. Creator checkup, right? Creators or creator? I might just say creator checkup. But I want to go ahead and let you guys go. This has been an amazing, amazing talk. If you're watching on replay, please let me know that you watched on replay. Remember that this is your prescription for this week. We'd love to see more of you checking out The Authority. As soon as I can, those of you who are on the app, I'm going to try to get the creative workshop scheduled. I got to get some more calls in right now to try to get that scheduled so we have our monthly workshop, because at the end of the month, I will be out on a youth camp trip. So I will need to get onto that. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us, and everybody else. Wendy, Simony, Pamela, Manuel from Worship Musician School. All of you guys are amazing. Thank you for being a part of a community. Thank you for being a part of my life and for helping to make this community what it is, where creators are growing every single day. It's a blessing, y'all. This has really been amazing to do. So God bless you all. Until next time, continue to become the creator that you were created to be. God bless. We'll see you next Friday. God bless.